Hey, what's happening, everybody? So today, as you can see, I've got everything in place the way I want it. So the next step is to build the box that's going to be the seat, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to start connecting all these different boxes together and making it so that I can pull them out and paint them and then stick them right back in and get back on the road, man, because I really miss being on the road. By the way, while you guys were gone, I put in these supports on the front, and I put this piece down here. This will add strength, and it'll also prevent, if I'm parked uphill or something, from stuff flying out when I open the door. And I might put one of these on the front too, but not on the sides, because I want to be able to get in here easily. Something that a bunch of people pointed out to me is instead of doing the cross supports the way I did them, I could just do one and attach it to the bottom of the movable fingers in here. But I cut this bed so short that in order to do that, it wouldn't come out far enough. And I did that because I wanted to save as much space as possible in this area, and I wanted this bed platform as compact as possible. So I am not doing that, but I am going to put a board right here so that it stops this. And also the box that I'm about to build right here, it's going to be the perfect height for me to sit on with the pad on it so that my head doesn't hit the ceiling. I'm going to measure out what that is in a minute. And then when you turn it on its side, it's going to be the exact same height as this. And the reason for that is it's going to take up this whole width. So all I got to do is pick it up and move it over here and turn it on its side and pull this thing out, and it's fully supported, so it's good to go. Okay, so I experimented with different heights here. I got some wood stacked up in a dog toy or dog treat box with the foam that I'm going to use on top of it. And I found out that at this height, I got a little bit of room up ahead, and it's taller right here than it is back here, so I can still sit back there. And I can use this as my little workstation for working on my laptop if I want to. Okay, so I was trying to visualize how to build this thing in my head, and it wasn't quite working, so I decided to take these two pieces of scrap wood and lay everything out as far as like how everything's going to fit together. And I figured out that this way is best because this way, when this is in like sitting mode, when I'm sitting on it, it'll put pressure on these pieces, which put pressure on these pieces, which will be nice and strong. And then when I flip it this way, it will put pressure on this piece, which will put pressure on this piece, which will also be nice and strong. So I think that this is the strongest way to do it, and I'm going to cut these two pieces to the proper lengths, and I'm going to put one on each side and one in the middle, because this box has got to hold up the bed and at least one person sitting on it. Okay, so I got all my pieces cut. Now I just lined everything up so that I can dry fit it and measure it and make sure that everything's right before I put it together. Alright, so the rest of this I'm going to set up like a factory. I know that these two pieces of wood need to go on the end of here, and that I'm going to use, I forgot the name of this thing again, but I'm going to use this thing to go inside. So I'm just going to mark all of these real quick, just so I know to drill it exactly in the middle, and then set them off to the side. And then once all of that is done, I'll just pull them all out. Boom. And do that real quick. And then once that's done, put a little glue on there, set it up like this on the end of the table, and pop, pop. Put two screws in there, and I'm good to go on that part and move on to the next part. I'm actually drilling a little pilot hole before I put the second piece in. So I made it up, and this is on a flat surface so that I get a nice 90 or 45 or whatever degree angle this is. And this pilot hole is actually for this board so that it doesn't cause splits, because splits are bad news, man. Bad news. Okay, now to put this bad boy together, I've got my boards down, I've pre-glued everything. I'm setting this one down, and I'm squaring it up. Beautiful. Now I can set this on top. Line everything up. Now the bottom is perfectly squared up, so if I square up the top, I know that it'll be good. Just going around double checking everything. It's good. It's good right there. It's good there. Good there. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now a countersink and screw. So now I've got a nice and strong frame for this bench, and I can actually now kind of get started on connecting everything together, because I'll be able to pull the bed out all the way without it falling over. I'm just cleaning off all the excess glue here real quick. I went a little overkill with the glue, but I think with this at least it's better just a little too much than not enough. So I want this thing strong. And actually I decided to go ahead and put the opening door on top, and I'm going to cut out another one of these boards that's going to connect to the door, which I'm going to sit on. And basically what's going to happen is when the door closes, that board rests here, here, and here, which is nice and frickin' strong. So that'll be great, a little extra strength. But it's pretty lightweight, and it's definitely going to be strong enough. So let's put this thing in and see how it works. So I decided to put a 1/4-inch plywood on all sides of this thing just to make it really strong and heavy. And you can see that there's still a little bit of room between my head and the ceiling, and another 1/4 inch. It'll be just right there, so it'll be absolutely perfect. And it's a good height for this table too, to cook on, to be able to sit down while I cook and work on my laptop and everything else. So the way this guy's gonna work is you just flip it over. I'll just go right about there. And then this scoots out. Oh, went a little too far. Once I put a piece of wood on that end to keep it from going too far, this won't be an issue, but right now it's definitely a pain in the butt. So yeah, it'll just sit in just like this. And the reason why I wanted this bed shorter versus coming out a couple extra inches is because I can still walk and get out of this thing even with the bed in place. So with 2 people in here, it'll be much easier to get out of bed, and the fridge will be right here. Maybe get some food, or go up front and brush your teeth, or use the toilet, which will be kept up here during the night or whatever. So this will be really easy. And scoot it in place with one hand. Put the bench back, bam. I'm probably going to figure out some way to affix this bench to that bed platform. But yeah, I'm going to pull this back out so I can start measuring stuff and figure out how everything's going to fit together. Alright, so I've got everything totally lined up, and I checked the measurements of the bed, and I actually made it a little bit too short. The legs have to be out all the way out there in order for the mattress to fit. So I'm going to add another board under there, like it would be the equivalent of right here on the other side, to hold that up down there. And now I just measured out the board that goes in between these two, and then the boards that go between that one and the ones down there, and then the board that holds those two together. So I'm going to work on all of that stuff now. Okay, I've connected this piece and the one that goes on the other side. The other side I already put in the van. Now I'm just very carefully putting this in the van, and I get the proper measurements between here and here, and here and here, and here and here and here and here, and figure out a way to connect them all together, and then this will be one piece. So this thing actually tapers from 6 3/4 inches to 8 1/2, 6 3/4 at that end down to 8 1/2 down here, which is pretty incredible taper. So basically what I'm doing now is I just cut all these Luan pieces that are going to go on here, and I've got everything all lined up, except for it's not staying perfectly straight up and down on each end, so I got to make sure that they're that way. But basically I'm just going to drop some glue on the wood here, and maybe a little on the Luan, and then screw this Luan down, and then figure out something for the underside for support. Okay, so this Luan is installed now. Basically these pieces of wood have to go from right here, and I got to measure out the height of this and get it directly over here. There's another one back here. I'm going to put this in between them so that it's the same width as from here to here. And then because it's going to be up a little higher, not connected to here, I need to somehow put a piece of wood here or something to connect to this. So I'm going to figure that out real quick. I probably won't show you much. Okay, so in order to get this piece at the right height to match the height of these ones, it needs to go up just a teeny tiny bit So I marked how high I want it to go on this board, and now I'm using this one, which is going to end up being screwed in right here, to lift it up, to get it to the right height. And once it's there, I'm going to mark it. Boom. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side to make sure it's even. It doesn't look like it's showing up very well on camera, but there's a really cool taper to this thing. It's pretty narrow right here, and then it like widens up down at the end. So this piece is cut out, and I got a nice little box made out of it, and it just fits right in there perfectly. So now what I need to do is connect this to these, and the way I'm going to do that is just simply cut down some blocks and make it like that long, and just kind of stick it in the middle, cut it off like right there, and put screw, 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 and it'll be held in place. You can really see that taper this way. So the last part that's just really not strong is this bottom part. It's connecting this side to this side. There's like nothing until you get to the top. So this is where the wheel well is. So this spot I have plenty of room to put some supports. So I'm just gonna, what is this back? No, this is front. I'm gonna mark down where I need to cut these out, and cut these out real quick and glue and screw them in place. I think it'll be okay with just 2 here and none up there. Alright guys, so I am very happy with the structural integrity of this. The sun has gone down, it's getting late, and I am ready to call it a day. So I will see you next time, and we will finish this part up, and we'll definitely get started on this side cabinet that goes on the other side. And yeah, wow, I'm almost ready for paint. And then, oh, the sides are going to be, at least from here up, are going to be Luan, because I want it to look really nice. You're going to be able to see this really well. But the frame is going to be painted, so this one's pretty much ready for paint. The only thing is I want to fill in between the cabinets here, just to keep stuff in different areas. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Love yourself.